Hey, what's up everyone? PersNikity here. Welcome back to the Uncharted 4 Crushing Difficulty walkthrough. We're moving on to Chapter 18, New Devon. So, this chapter, if you recall, I was talking in the previous videos and I was saying, you know, Chapter 17 is in my opinion, one of the tougher chapters in the game. But then Chapters 18 and 19 aren't so bad. So, Chapter 18, this could be a level of great variability. And what I mean by that is, for me, I was able to get through this level pretty quickly. It didn't take me a lot of deaths. However, that could have just been a little bit of luck, or just, you know, maybe I was having a good day. But I'll explain more about that, but it can be a somewhat hard chapter. But I'm going to do my best to show you the right strategies. But first, you're going to climb up this wall here, trigger a short cutscene, and then we'll move on.
Come on. You alright?
Yeah.
Wow. Welcome to Avery's neighborhood.
It's a nice place. If you don't mind some structural problems and water damage.
Yeah, clearly some drainage issues.
A real fixer-upper opportunity. Okay, so... looks like somebody blew that dam and then flooded the whole place.
You know, I forgot. Pretty good at this.
Alright, so which one of these do you think is Avery's?
My money's on that one. One that's still intact.
Oh. You're not so bad at this either.
Yeah, well, you know, I've had a little practice, read a few books.
Shit, shit.
What?
The front door.
Sam.
He's still alive.
Yeah, for now. Come on.
All right, so after the cutscene, we're gonna make our way through into New Devon, and so for those of you who are maybe not following the story, Drake and Sam set out looking for Libertalia, the lost pirate colony. New Devon is basically a city within Libertalia, and it is where the founders live. So this is where all the magnificent mansions are going to be, and hopefully, as you would expect, this is where the treasure would be, since this is where all the big shots lived. And so for Chapter 18, this chapter has basically two fights that you're going to have to worry about. The first fight, I don't know necessarily what to call it. I guess I would say it's the outer perimeter fight, because it's kind of like on the outer perimeter of New Devon. And then the second fight is going to be in Thomas 2's mansion. Or maybe it's Avery's mansion. I can't remember whose mansion it is. But it's the mansion fight, and it's an ambush. That fight is harder. It seems harder than it really is. So you might remember that fight from your original playthrough, and you might be thinking, wow, that's going to be a tough fight to get through. But it's really not that hard. But first, we got to do the outer perimeter fight. So you're going to drop down into the tall grass here, and this is where you'll get the checkpoint. And so this is kind of like the outer perimeter fight that I was just talking about. Now, there are a number of ways you could go about doing this. However, you are not going to be able to stealth this. I can tell you that right now. It's just on crushing mode, the enemies, you know, they have their heightened senses, and there are a lot of enemies here. And there's really not a lot of good places for cover. So here's what I'm going to recommend doing. Again, this is just my best guess at a strategy. This is what helped me get through it. I'm actually going to fight the guys on the left side of the map, and that's because if you do that, there's only one direction they can approach you from, whereas if you were to fight the guys on the right side of the map, they can actually approach you from left or straight on and above. So in my opinion, starting from the left is easier. So I'm going to go ahead and get a free headshot right there. As soon as I get that headshot, I'm going to duck over here to the left side of the map. Now notice how there's water surrounding this area. So what that means is that if I get surrounded, if I get a little pressured, and if I start to panic, I can just drop down into the water, dive down, and swim away. And so basically by utilizing this part of the map, I have a quick escape. And you see right there, the enemy threw the grenade at me, so what do? I just drop down into the water, let it explode, problem avoided. Now you're going to want to hang from this area right here. You're not really going to want to get up and take cover behind the little wall, because if the enemies decide to get aggressive and charge you, like this guy right here, he can easily shoot you from that location. So I'm just going to hang here. And you will have to watch out. There are going to be some enemies on the far left, and so that's why I'm hanging here, but I'm hanging kind of to the right so that they can't shoot me. And then you'll notice that now an enemy is shooting me from the right as well. But notice how this is like the perfect position. Any enemy that comes at me from straight on, I can blind fire them like you saw me do right there. Any enemy on the right, I can just pop up and shoot them. I have a good angle right here. And then any enemy on the left, I can also shoot them. So you see right here, I'm going to take this guy out, or at least try to. But you can see how this area, it really kind of gives you a full view of the entire range of the map. And then you see right there, that grenade went over me. That should not have hurt me. That grenade fell in the water and I was far enough away from it. I don't think that grenade should have hurt me. But if that happens, obviously just kind of shimmy yourself away from the grenade. And so now you see, there was a little while where the enemies weren't rushing me. So that's why I decided to get a bit more aggressive and hop up. Once again, huge key. Pay attention to your AI. So you saw right there, Elena actually said, "Drake on your right." And sure enough, there was an enemy that just approached me from the right. So definitely pay attention to your AI. That is one thing. You know, as much as I don't care for Uncharted 4, one thing is Uncharted did a really good job with the AI. The AI is smart, they are reactive, and they're overall they're really helpful. Like you saw right there a couple seconds ago, Elena grabbed one of the soldiers, and if an AI ever grabs a soldier, that's a free kill. You just shoot them once and they're dead. So yeah, anyway, now you can see I'm in a position where I'm no longer getting rushed by enemies, so that's why I'm kind of up here, getting a bit more aggressive, and I'm just going to peek into this doorway here. Again, use alternative cover, and I'm just going to wait. The enemies are aggressive, so if the enemies are aggressive, you don't have to be as aggressive, because what you can do is you can kind of just be patient and hold back, and one by one the enemies should present themselves, and when they do, you'll know where they are, and of course you can finish them off. So definitely this is kind of a long fight because there's no checkpoint in this fight. So you got to be, or I think there might be one halfway through, but you don't want to rely on that. You want to try to beat it. So you see this guy here, he's gonna rush me. I panicked, so that's why I dropped down into the water. And so once I'm in the water, I'm just gonna swim to safety somewhere. Doesn't matter where, just get somewhere like right here. And again, that's just kind of the benefit of this position. The enemy rushed me, I panicked, so I just dropped into the water and swam away. And you can see here, when you swim away, the enemy will actually lose sight of you. And so you see right there, I was able to kill that guy because he had no idea where I was. So doing that, retreating into the water, it also can help you because the enemies will lose sight of you, and when that happens, you can basically restart from a stealth approach and get a free kill. So you see right there, Elena. Once again, I swam underwater, and Elena just said they lost track of us. So now it's almost like I started on a clean slate. The enemies have no idea where I am, and that means I can use the element of surprise to get myself a free kill. So if you're really struggling with this fight, then you can kind of exaggerate this strategy. You can just you can kill a guy, hide, let them lose track of you, and then kill a guy, hide, let them lose track of you. Now you see right there, the reason I'm staying back here is because there is a grenade launcher enemy far off in the distance. And right now, he's a bit too far for me to kill. But he's going to be your biggest threat. Now you see right there, I had a grenade thrown at me, so I ducked into the water. And then it was getting a little hot. There were a lot of enemies shooting at me, so that's why I decided to swim away. And then, once again, kind of just start from scratch. Let them lose track of me. Get myself a free kill if I can. And yeah. So you see right there, somehow they spotted me. I don't know who spotted me, but someone did. But yeah, this is one of those fights. You know, sometimes in Uncharted you get the fights where they're just long. They're just long fights because you really just have to be patient, and you just can't be too aggressive, otherwise you're going to get killed. So unfortunately, that's one of these fights. So right there, I just hopped up to grab some ammo. Unfortunately, they spotted me. That's okay. I'm not upset with that. I'm just gonna try to be a bit safe. So you see here, though, there's the enemies. I'm gonna throw a grenade, and boom! I should have took out two, but I got one, and then that grenade should have taken out the second guy. So Grenades also can easily help you. Oh, he's still alive. I don't know how he's still alive, but I'm going to go ahead and finish the job with my pistol. And you can see kind of now that they know where I am again, they're once again they're getting more aggressive. So all these enemies are rushing me, and I just took out what, 3 enemies. So that really helps out. And now at this point, I've killed enough guys where I feel comfortable looking up over this rooftop here. So you can see there's 2 snipers in the distance, and again, there's also that grenade launching enemy I mentioned. Now remember, the snipers are not that big of a threat for you. Be careful with this guy now. He's gonna sneak up on my right. If that happens, then just, you know, continue hanging on the wall, get a good vantage point, take him out. If he happens to make contact and if you panic, then just drop in the water, just like that, and you're safe. So there's a lot of ways to be safe here. There's a lot of ways to be patient. It draws out the fight a bit. It makes it longer. I really don't like this fight. I feel like this fight, they should have given you some better cover options, because at the end of the day, what I'm doing right now, like this whole kill and retreat thing, it's effective, but it's not very fun. It's not a fun way to play the game. It's necessary, you know, so you have to, I mean, you could come up with your own strategy, but for me, I had to do it this way. It wasn't fun, but I just had to do it that way. So I'm not a big fan of this fight. There's a lot of fights in this game that I think they could have given better cover options. One thing I really hate is destructible cover. I know it makes sense, like in the real world, if you're hiding behind a box of a thing of wooden crates, obviously if enemies are unloading on you, those crates are going to get destroyed and you're going to get killed. So I understand destructible cover from a realistic standpoint, but from a game standpoint, it's just always a pet peeve for me. I really hate it. But, you know, it makes the game what it is. It gives you more of a challenge, and at the end of the day, that's what most gamers are looking for. So I can appreciate it. I don't have to like it, but I can respect it. Alright, so you see here, the enemies, they once again kind of lost sight of me. So I'm going to go ahead and use that opportunity to get some ammo. Now you see there's a heavy soldier right there. There's still 2 snipers, and then there should still be a grenade launching enemy. So I have to be careful here. I don't want to put myself out in the open, because right now I'm in a house. But once you leave this house, or if you go on the roof of the house, it's basically open season. There is not a lot of cover to be had. So you got to be careful here. You want to just be a little patient. You notice right there I picked up the Barrack 44, strongest weapon in the game. Anytime you can pick that up, pick it up. It's going to save your life numerous times. It's basically a one-hit kill against any soldier except the heavies. And then I think for the heavies it probably takes like 2 shots. So you see right there, that's the grenade launching enemy. I tried to kill him from far off, but I think I missed. So now I'm just going to sit here. Got him, so that's 1 enemy less to worry about. And remember, those enemies are really far away, and they're hard to kill because there's not a lot of cover in between. So if you can use the Barrack 44 to kill those enemies that are at a far off distance, you're going to make your life a lot easier. So you see right there, I think I took out both snipers from this far away, and then boom, I got another kill I think right there. So with the Barrack, like I said, you always want to pick up that weapon. It is very overpowered. You see right there, like a one-hit kill from that far away is amazing. So always pick up that weapon when you can find it. Usually I say my strategy is to take the weapon with the most ammo. So usually when you find a Barrack, it doesn't have a lot of ammo in it. But that's where I make an exception. If you can pick up a Barrack with 2 bullets, pick it up. If you can pick up a Barrack with 1 bullet, pick it up, because I guarantee you that 1 bullet is going to come in handy more than 17 bullets in a Uzi or something. So always try to go for the Barrack. Alright, so now that the grenade launching enemy is out of the way, again, I killed him with the Barrack from far away. There's only a couple stragglers left to take care of. There's the sniper, and then there's this guy right here. So at this point, if you have to be careful, because you don't want to have to do this entire fight again. But the snipers really aren't much of a threat.
Jesus.
And there you go. So after you kill all the guys, you can see what I was talking about right here. Like, if you were to try to kill the grenade launching guy from this point, there's just not a lot of cover. On the crate right there, you can pick up the China Lake, so you might want to grab that. And then remember, I did kill an enemy with a grenade launcher, so you might want to pick up his ammo as well. If you want, you can go with the sniper rifle, but I'm going to go ahead and recommend the China Lake because for the second fight in this level, which is the mansion fight, the China Lake's going to come in handy. And now all I'm doing is, once again, kind of the golden rule of Uncharted. I'm just going to, after the firefight, I'm going to look for grenades. So you see right there, I found one. Found a pistol, or pistole. I still don't know how that's pronounced. But basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to prep for the mansion fight. So I'm trying to find the strongest weapons I can. I'm trying to find as many grenades as I can, because those are going to, especially the grenades. So, like, don't get me wrong, the China Lake is fantastic. But you can survive the mansion fight without a China Lake. It's the grenades you want. The grenades are going to save your life so many times in the mansion fight. They really came in handy for me. So once you're content with your arsenal, go ahead and sneak through this little cave right here. And we still have a while to go. We still have quite a bit to do before the mansion fight. That's going to be kind of the end of this level. And then I think that'll be it. After the mansion fight, we're going to go down into these caves, and that's what's going to be Chapter 19. Chapter 19 is not too hard. Chapter 20 is hard. Chapter 21 is easy. Chapter 22 is easy, and then the epilogue is just story related. It's not. There's no challenge whatsoever. It's impossible to die. So yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close to the end of the game. And for me, I'm getting close to the end of the franchise. I have every Uncharted game on my channel on its hardest setting. And then in, let's see, at the time I'm recording this voiceover, in 12 days. Or no, in 11 days. No, wait. What day does it come out? 12. In 13 days, Uncharted Lost Legacy comes out. So I'll be looking forward to doing that. I'm still pretty skeptical about the game. But, you know, we'll see. I'm going in with an open mind, and I trust Naughty Dog. I really do trust them to deliver, so I'm hopeful. Anyway, I don't know what was happening right here. I got stuck on the rope or something, but you have to crawl up here to get where you need to go. So go ahead and crawl up, and you'll see this this crate right here. I don't know what it's doing here. Like, that's a really random place for a crate to be. But luckily for us, we can use it. We have to use it. So push the crate, and the current will take it into the house here. Then you're going to go ahead and come up to dry land, latch on, and pull the crate up with you. And then, of course, you're just going to use the crate to get up to that ledge right there. One thing I will say, I've been kind of hard on Uncharted 4 in this walkthrough. I've critiqued it a lot. One thing I'll give them is the set pieces are beautiful. I love pretty much every level in this game except Chapter 10, which is the giant open world Madagascar level. But my god, like, this game more than any other Uncharted game, it just gives me this, like, it gives me this craving to explore and to adventure. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that this is essentially the most realistic Uncharted game, in the sense that there is no supernatural aspect going on here. This is a pure pirate treasure chase. There's no cursed statue. There's no hidden city in the mountains. There's no evil djinn with flaming heads trying to kill you. This is just a flat-out treasure hunting story. So maybe it's that aspect that it's a little more realistic. And also, you note that there are a lot fewer over-the-top action moments in this game. And I think that speaks to the part that, you know, Drake is like a retired treasure hunter. He's been out of the game. He's a little rusty. So even though, obviously, this game is still over the top, I would say that it's the most relatable of the Uncharted games. And again, the set pieces, like exploring these ruined mansions, seeing how they're covered in grass and moss and vines, you can just kind of see how nature has taken over. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of The Last of Us, when you're exploring the cities and you see all the vegetation that's taken over, and you just I don't know. It's really nice to look at, and it's nice to explore and look around. So as many of the things that I don't like about Uncharted 4, it still is a great game, and there are some things that you can really appreciate from it. So anyway, you're gonna make your way up to dry land here, hop through the window, and I think right now we're in Thomas 2's mansion. I can never remember whose mansion is who.
Time for another swim, I guess.
But here you're going to have to get past one more little obstacle. So you see what I'm going to do is I actually messed up here. So the current is really strong right here. And what we have to do is we have to get over to that platform, kind of like the yellow ledge right there. So jump in the water and then quickly jump up to the platform. Now you're gonna have to wait for Elena here. So you see she's gonna jump in too, and she's gonna weigh this thing down for us. So she'll just stand on the dang thing. So I guess maybe you have to try and fail once before she'll actually help you. Kind of annoying. But there you go. So she'll stand on the thing.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You make a great counterweight. I mean,
Okay, I'll choose to take that as a compliment.
as well you should.
So a little funny exchange right there between Drake and Elena. I'm kind of curious as to the relationship between the two voice actors because
I'll find a way up for you.
obviously they've been together in every Uncharted game so far, so and they have great chemistry, like the two characters. And then you got to consider that nowadays in video games, it's not just standing behind a microphone. Like these actors, they're doing the full motion capture thing, so they're spending days in the, they're spending hundreds of hours in the studio working together. Like, so clearly the actors must, have grown to like each other. I wonder if they're good friends in real life or anything. Nolan North, obviously, he's a busy man. I don't know how much work the actress who plays Elena does, but anyway. Go ahead and sneak under the shelf here. You'll wind up in this room and you'll trigger kind of a long cutscene, like 3 minutes, but it's a pretty important one.
Good lord.
Looks like we found the party.
Looks like we're a little late. Hey, Nate. Check it out.
It's another sigil. Oh my god.
What?
It's them. Elena, these are the pirate captains that founded Libertalia. What the hell happened here?
Well, I'm no forensics expert, but I would say... bad drinks?
Apparently.
So what was this? Some kind of wealthy pirate suicide cult?
Yeah, not likely. Not these guys.
On behalf of Lord Avery, I invite you to my manor at sundown tomorrow. The time has come to abandon our animosities and reunite under the banner of God and liberty. Signed, Thomas, too.
What do you bet? Thomas 2, Henry Avery. Looks like our hosts didn't stick around to clean up their mess.
Well, that wasn't very gracious of them.
Okay, so these guys sparked a full-scale revolt when they claimed the treasure for themselves. Now, they took care of the colonists, but then they had to deal with each other. And I'm guessing things got pretty messy. So, Avery and 2 invite them up here to,
Abandon our animosities.
abandon the animosities. Avery makes a grand toast. For God and liberty! Arg, ahoy, mateys, all that. And they all take a swig. Except these two. And just like that, all the treasure of Libertalia becomes the sole possession of two men. These are some of history's greatest pirates, and they all perished in an instant at this very table.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, since our missing hosts aren't here at Two's Manor,
We should head over to Avery's.
yeah. Let's go.
Alright, so after the cutscene, you could say goodbye to these unfortunate pirates. So Thomas Tew and Henry Avery poisoned them to essentially steal all the treasure. So I guess there is no honor among thieves.
Slowly.
And yeah, so there's a couple journal entries you can get on that table if you want, if you're going for those. But otherwise, you're just going to keep doing the climbing.
I got it.
And we're getting ready to approach the mansion fight. So that's going to be the last fight in this level. One of the harder fights in the game, but definitely doable. And I'll show you kind of the best strategy. Remember, you're going to want to go into the fight with grenades and stuff. So hopefully after the last fight, you took the time to explore and find as many grenades as you could.
We are officially inside Henry Avery's house.
There you go. So, as Drake just said, we are now in Henry Avery's mansion, the big boy himself. And so this is where the mansion fight is going to take place. You're going to come into this room here. There's going to be a conversation you can listen to if you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and continue on with the game. Alright, so now we are officially in the area of the mansion fight. So remember, after the last fight, I decided to pick up the pistole, grenades, and the China Lake GL. That's my arsenal here. You might have a different arsenal. In my opinion, the most important thing is having a full supply of grenades. Before the fight begins, you can feel free to look around. Maybe you could, like you saw at the beginning, there was a para 44 or 45. So if you want to pick up a different weapon, you can pick up a different weapon, but I don't know how. I don't think there's many options to choose from here. I think that para was just there in the event that maybe you had no sidearm. So once you're ready to begin the fight, you're going to approach the back side of the room here. So you see there's another para 45, but I'm going to stick with what I have. And once you're ready, you're going to approach this door over here.
And left a bunch of money.
Footprints go through this door.
All right, and so get ready, because after this little animation, you're going to get ambushed. And you're going to get ready because there's going to be one heavily armored turret enemy that's making his way towards you. He's your priority. You want to take him out as quickly as you can. All right, so get ready. Here we go. The fight's about to start. Immediately take cover behind this pillar with Elena. And remember, this turret guy, he's going to be your big threat right now. So start unloading on him with the China Lake or any weapon you have. The benefit of the China Lake is that if you make contact with him, the explosion might hurt other enemies standing near him. Now I'm going to switch to this pillar here. And you see that there's a couple enemies in my way. So I'm going to try to take him out with the pistole. But now the turret enemy is getting closer and closer. So I finally took him out. It took 3 GLs, but I got him. And now I'm going to focus on the little guys. So I'm going to go ahead and use all my grenade launching ammo. You're going to want to save the grenades for enemies that try to ambush you. So now I'm going to move. Now that the big guy's out of the way, I'm going to move behind here. So now the enemies have a limited area they can approach me from. And there you see I just picked up a Barrack 44. Best weapon in the game. Always try to pick it up. One hit kill. One hit kill. You got to look out for snipers, and there also is a grenade launching enemy, so be careful of them. But one of the biggest things in this fight is you just want to always try to keep moving. You don't want to stay in one place for too long. So you see right there, I ran out of barrack ammo. Go ahead and pick up the pistole again. Now I am in a tough spot here because I don't have my China Lake anymore, but that's where the grenades come in handy. So I threw a grenade at the enemy approaching me, and then you saw right there, I was able to take out the guy that tried to flank me with the pistole. Now these enemies are getting a bit aggressive, so I gotta be careful. Again, remember, grenades are your best friend. You can already see how they saved my life numerous times. Right here, I'm gonna throw another one. Boom. Now this guy is approaching me. I'm gonna throw one more grenade at him and hope to God it takes him out. Barely got him, but I did. And now you can see I'm out of ammo, but I am in a good position. These snipers have no way of shooting me here. Enemies that flank you, they can only flank you from the right. So if you just keep rotating your camera, you'll be able to make sure they're not there. So again, you know, I did this fight on my first try. I didn't find it that difficult, but it can be a tough fight, and so it's one of those things where you might die a few times, but just be persistent, and I promise eventually you'll get it. You can see all the ammo that's lying around, so ammo should not be a problem. Once again, you see, you always want to try to keep moving, so that spot was getting a little hot, so I decided to move. Again, grenades are your best friend. So try to get as many grenades as you can, anytime you can. And don't necessarily save them. Like sometimes you might be tempted to save your grenades so that you can kill like 2 or 3 guys with one explosion. I say forget about that. If there's an enemy that you need to throw a grenade at, throw a freaking grenade at him. Because if it'll save your life, then why not? And then you see there I got a bit aggressive, took him out, and that was the last guy.
You alright?
Yeah. They were just waiting to ambush us.
So there you go, guys. A pretty tough fight, but you know, if you just kind of keep moving around, utilize your grenades, and then like I said, try to take out the heavily armored guy as soon as you can. That'll make your life a lot easier, because if he gets close to you, you're gonna have to get out of cover. You're gonna have to run away, and if you have to run away, the other smaller guys are just gonna tear you to shreds. So definitely take the turret guy out as quickly as you can. Now, once again, I'm done. I'm done with the chapter, so if I want to, I can just go ahead and go through that door and be done with this and move on to chapter 19. But as always, you want to follow the golden rule of Uncharted, which is look for ammo and supplies before you move on. So, because that's basically what made this fight so easy for me, was because at the end of the last fight, I grabbed 4 grenades and a China Lake, and without those grenades, I would not have survived that fight. So, definitely always take the time to look around.
Hello there. What is it?
It's a letter. Signed by Avery.
Really? Read it.
My loyal subjects, as the sun sets on our glorious paradise, we must endeavor to preserve its riches. The traitorous, too, knows our secrets, so we must act quickly, destroy the dam, cleanse New Devon.
Here we go.
Uh-huh. And move my treasure through the passage to my ship.
2 and Avery turned on each other.
Are you really surprised?
I guess not.
Here you go.
Alright, so we learned a little bit of story there. Avery and 2, the last 2 remaining pirates, they turned on each other, and Avery decided to kill 2, flood New Devon, and move all of the treasure to his personal ship. So now we know. Now we know where the treasure is. It's just a matter of getting there. Easier said than done. But you're going to come to this study here, which is, you know, impressively well kept. This is still a nice room.
Where did they go?
But basically what you have to do is you have to find the secret entrance, and you're just going to have to, you know, toy around with a couple of these things, and then eventually Elena will actually find it. So just kind of, you know, look around for fun. So here you see, here's Sam's lighter.
Did he drop it?
Yeah, on purpose. Whatever it is we're looking for has to be somewhere around here.
There's got to be another way out of this room.
Maybe that passage Avery mentioned in the letter. Where's the switch?
Alright, so now after he says that, you can just you can look around a bit and try to find the switch, but like I said, you just have to look at a couple objects, and then eventually Elena will actually find the switch. So you can't find the switch here.
I wonder if...
Kind of annoying since I know where it is. It's on the globe, but that's just how the game plays out. So anyway, guys,
Nate.
that'll pretty much do it, I think.
Did you find something?
I think so.
Whoa.
So there you go. Avery definitely had some pretty impressive architects and engineers working for him with all these secret passages and whatnot.
Nicely done.
But alright, so go ahead and descend the spiral stairs, and that will lead you underground and basically directly into chapter 19. So once again, guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you get the chance, and yeah, I'll see you in the next chapter.
There you go.